you're talking about a true generational great.
I think he's one of the best of all time. I really do. I think he's one of the best heavyweights of all time.
The legacy is really quite outstanding, and I think when we talk about great fighters, I think you have to put him in the mix of all time.
We were fighting these behemoths, and there is no fear in that guy.
He doesn't roar. He shows no aggression.
This guy can box in his sleep.
He just smiles.
I'm gonna write you off!
A calm, unsettling smile that tells opponents one thing. You're about to enter his world.
How are you feeling?
I'm very feel.
Before he ever became great, before the medals, the world titles, the legacy, Usyk grew up in Ukraine as the Soviet Union collapsed.
Until I became 6 years old, I had no worries whatsoever. I just enjoyed life.
This pro-independence rally in the Ukraine was just another example of the mood of separatism sweeping the nation.
A nation shifting beneath everyone's feet, where families worked hard just to stay afloat.
In 1991 or 92, when I was 6, we moved to my mother's village. When I was growing up, I understood that not everything was easy for my family, especially in terms of finance.
Opportunities were scarce. Nothing came easy. In a world like that, strength wasn't a skill you learned. It was the only way forward.
From when I was a little boy, I told my mother, I do not know why, but I told her that one day I will be very famous and I will have a helicopter and a very large house where we all will live. Feet. Remember your feet.
Usyk was a decorated amateur, battle-tested across Europe, shaped by discipline and repetition. 335 wins. 15 losses, hundreds of rounds, years of discipline. But it was London 2012 where he stepped onto the world stage. The world finally stopped and watched.
Shoulder Usyk then is caught in two minds.
Guided by Anatoly Lomachenko, the legendary architect of Ukraine's boxing system, Usyk absorbed the same philosophy that shaped Vasily Lomachenko.
Trying to motivate his boxer there, got caught with a super left hand.
Rhythm over force. Angles over aggression, boxing as movement, as art. That dancing footwork, the constant motion, the technical mastery. It wasn't instinct, it was education. When the final bell rang, Oleksandr Usyk stood alone. Olympic gold resting on his chest, a quiet warning of what was coming next. After the Olympic gold, Usyk's father died.
After I won gold, he was already sick. My uncle told me when I came to visit him.
A final call. A lifetime of words folded into a single farewell. The medal laid to rest with his father. A silent tribute to everything he had given. That loss stayed with him, a quiet strength he carried into every fight. On the 9th of November 2013, Usyk entered a new world. No shirts, no headguards, just the ring. Before that night, he had already caught the eye of Klitschko, a man who knew greatness when he saw it. His professional story began against Felipe Romero. 5 rounds later, it ended in a knockout. He blasted through the cruiserweight division, 9 fights, 9 knockouts, unraveling opponents strand by strand until their game simply collapsed. Untouchable. Undeniable. A world champion pedigree, impossible to ignore. The next dream was the same as every fighter's. A world title. 2 Europeans cut from granite.
Gentlemen,
Let's do this.
Hearts of lions, no instinct to retreat.
Cruiserweights.
One thing we can't underestimate here is Usyk's eagerness to impress. He will meet Glowacki head-on.
Glowacki came to impose his strength.
Like I say, it's them cuffing heavy shots that come down the sides of the gloves that you can't really see or anticipate that they're going to land. Glowacki loads with everything. That's a nice little short combination inside there.
Every step forward was meant to test Usyk's will.
He will have studied him and watched previous fights. Good overhand.
But each time he tried, he was met with resistance. Sharp, snapping combinations fired in rhythm. He moved like a dancer.
Bit of an alley shuffle too.
Punches that didn't just score, they disrupted. By round 9, it looked like he was punching through smoke. Punches falling into empty space. Usyk never stayed still. In, out.
He's got it in the locker.
Angles shifting, turning pressure into openings. What looked like force was answered with precision. And the balance of the fight began to change.
Oh, big left hand, right hand. They bounce off the chin of Glowacki. And it really is a tremendous effort, but again he gets pinged.
In 2016, that dream became reality. Oleksandr Usyk captured the WBO World Cruiserweight Championship, defeating Krzysztof Glowacki.
Too much into facial damage in fights.
After conquering Europe, Usyk set his sights on a new frontier. This time, the battleground wasn't Europe. It was the United States, the heart of boxing, where legends are made and reputations are tested under the brightest lights. Every step was measured. This wasn't just another fight. It was a WBO title defense. Oleksandr Usyk versus Thabiso Mchunu on unfamiliar ground. From the opening bell, Usyk controlled everything. Movement, angles, distance.
Body work from Usyk. There you go.
Patient, precise, unrushed. A champion proving his dominance traveled with him.
Is the kind of boxer. He's not going to pour on the
pressure. And he goes down, it is
unless
over.
the guy gets hurt
and he has stopped him.
2017 marked the beginning of Usyk's rise to greatness. He entered the World Boxing Super Series, a tournament designed to test the best of the best. The prize? Nothing less than undisputed cruiserweight glory.
So the procedure is going to be exactly the same as before. I will ask you if you are ready. You will say yes, hopefully, and then once I give you the microphone, you will tell me who your opponent is. What's the name of your opponent?
It's Marco Huck.
The first hurdle in the World Boxing Super Series was Marco Huck.
So why Marco Huck?
Because my fans.
So are you happy about this choice or not so much?
This is my wish opponent.
The worst opponent?
The wish.
The wish opponent.
A fight that was meant to test skill, but it became personal. Huck had thrown insults at Usyk's mother during the press conference, even pushing him. Respect was gone. Pride was on the line.
Only one my opponents I don't love. It's a Marco Huck. Bad guy because this man say bad words for my mama.
Introducing to you first the challenger on my left. Please welcome the popular and renowned two-time cruiserweight champion of the world.
It was normal to see Usyk smile, even in the ring. But this time, the smile was different. Eerie, chilling, like he already knew exactly how the night would end.
And the challenger, WBO World Champion Oleksandr Usyk and the long-time champion Marco Huck challenging tonight.
From the first bell, Usyk was in control. Every punch precise, snapping across Huck's head and body, wearing him down with calculated rhythm.
How do you like that? A really effective forward foray from Oleksandr Usyk.
Huck tried to push, to land.
A bunch of medalists and champions in particular who have gone on to make a significant impact in the professional ranks. That's a lot.
But Usyk moved like water, slipping, pivoting, countering.
Usyk, what a left hand, what a combination. Idea of the concept, and that is why they're getting off the road now, Usyk. Good right hand lands from Hook, and the showboating in evidence. That round, and it was a terrific round. This is where the forward momentum of Marco Hook sent Oleksandr Usyk to the canvas, and that's where he attempted. Can a point have been deducted? Significant incident on the bell, and Oleksandr Usyk is enjoying life.
Every time Huck had a moment, Usyk punished him instantly.
Sneaking underhand left, Hook in real trouble, and the momentum of such.
Frustration set in. Hooks found nothing but air. By the mid-rounds, Huck hesitated, respecting the power behind Usyk's counters.
As Usyk gets onto the front foot, Hook bobbing and weaving, but he can't evade the... He gets back onto the front foot. Lead left.
Usyk's combinations flowed like clockwork, dictating the pace, taking full command of the ring. Round 9 became punishment.
Solid right hand. Back into punching.
By 10, a storm of punches, fast, relentless, snapping Huck across the ropes.
Near Usyk's corner. Furious assault being launched by Oleksandr Usyk. Is he looking to...
The referee stepped in. Usyk had left no doubt.
All of his strength being put to the test. Usyk working away furiously. Murat Briedis stepped in and has waved it off in the 10th round.
Next came Murat Briedis, a champion fighting in his own country. A pressure fighter with power, pride, and no intention of giving ground.
So here we go then, the first of a scheduled 12 3-minute rounds straight between the high-held hands and a hard left hand to the body from Briedis.
This wasn't domination. What followed was war.
Feeling that they have the fight won. From Briedis, but then a jolting southpaw left. Good right hand to the body. Shot salvo at mid-range from Briedis, but now plants his feet and tries to fall.
The toughest test yet. Briedis pushed Usyk to the edge.
And this is a strong portion of the round for Murat Briedis, trying to repel these attacks. He spits a fleck of blood, and his head is buffeted by a 2-shot salvo. He lands with a good left hand, which drives Briedis and his ground momentarily, gets through with the left. Both men enjoying success. Oh, to cracking right uppercut.
When it mattered most, Usyk's composure surfaced. Cleaner shots, smarter moments, control in chaos. It wasn't pretty, it was necessary.
Two highly skilled operators here. 12 round is contested. It has gone the 12-round distance on 2 occasions. It looks as though we're heading for that juncture tonight. And still, both men punching right up until the final bell.
And when the final bell rang, Usyk walked out with the decision. Battle-tested, sharpened, and one step closer to greatness. It all came down to the World Boxing Super Series final.
2 champions and 4 belts.
In only round, face to face.
Everything was on the line. 2 champions, 2 belts each, the Muhammad Ali Trophy, and one man leaving as undisputed cruiserweight champion. Across the ring stood Murat Gassiev, feared for his crushing power, heavy hands, bad intentions. A left hook that ended nights early and made fighters rethink stepping forward. This was supposed to be the danger,
Final instructions.
the final boss.
The undisputed Cruiserweight World Championship is underway. Will that comparative inexperience show up in favor of the southpaw?
Oh, for a big guy, 14.5 stone. Nice combination there from Gassiev.
Gassiev targeting the body with a good left hand. Very little, if anything, that can be done to deter him. Beautiful left hand and then a right uppercut.
And as the fight wears on.
Oh,
beautiful right hand.
Right hand from Gassiev, and he follows up with another thunderbolt. Usyk immediately. Impossible to deter, impossible to discourage.
Usyk didn't run from the threat. He took it away.
Plenty of punches he's being subjected to from Usyk.
This is boxing almost like a heavy bag. He's there to be hit. Good right hand though from Gassiev. He's dangerous.
Pocket. There's a jolting right jab.
Constant movement, shifting angles.
And a left cross and a left uppercut.
Punches landing while Gassiev searched. The power was still there, but it had nowhere to go. Round after round, Usyk broke rhythm, stole space, and drained belief. What once looked frightening became ineffective. The storm never arrived. By the final bell, the question was no longer about power. It was about control. And that night, Oleksandr Usyk didn't just win a fight. He solved it. Undisputed, crowned, complete. Usyk had already achieved what most fighters only dream of. In just 15 professional fights, he was crowned undisputed cruiserweight champion, but gold and glory weren't enough. Usyk wanted to conquer new ground, the UK, a stage that could cement his name worldwide. Waiting for him was Tony Bellew, riding the high of defeating one of Britain's brightest heavyweights, David Haye.
Oleksandr brings the hardware and I bring the paper. On Saturday night we're going to do an exchange. I'm going to give him all the paper he wants. I'm going to steal his hardware. I'm telling you now, I got labelled the bank robber last time. Don't call me the bank robber no more, call me the belt robber.
I'm going to pounce on you here, mate. If you were putting your house on it, would it be Usyk or would it be Bellew?
Bellew. Маленький ребенок, который получил киндер-сюрприз.
I'm as glad as a small kid who received the Kinder Surprise.
Thank you.
Tony Bellew is no fool.
Yeah.
Tony Bellew is one of the cleverest fighters out there that understands our game. He sees something we don't.
He's seeing something, yeah.
Like he's done in the past. He sees this as achievable. Tony Bellew's boxing ability is underrated. He's actually a very good technical fighter. He can bang, but he's actually a very good. I think technically he's actually better than Usyk. Usyk, if he's going to fight Usyk, now's the time because Usyk hasn't got the confidence to match his ability, and this guy is good.
Bellew had the crowd, the confidence, and the heart of a warrior.
Bellew has said, I don't have the same skills as this man. By the way, pretty much nobody else has the same skills of Oleksandr Usyk. But you know what Tony Bellew has? Heart.
It wasn't just a fight. It was a story of ambition meeting challenge, of a champion stepping into a new arena like his journey had only just begun.
Good right-hand counter there from Tony Bellew.
Early on, Tony Bellew had his moments. He slipped in sharp right hands, the kind that make you take notice.
That's what he's looking for. That right there. Big shot from Tony Bellew.
For brief flashes, his movement disrupted Usyk's rhythm, forcing misses, creating doubt.
Bellew takes it. Well, if Bellew switches off against somebody like Usyk, it was very quick.
But Usyk stayed calm.
Oh, big left hand from Usyk.
Patient, reading.
A machine, so many calling him.
Then the pressure came. Usyk began to walk Bellew down, closing the space, raising the intensity. By the middle rounds, the difference in class started to reveal itself. Shots placed with purpose, breaking Bellew down piece by piece.
Tony Bellew wearing down, still looking for that right hand, still galleon.
The ending came suddenly. Devastating. A knockout so emphatic it froze the arena and left Eddie Hearn watching on, visibly shaken at ringside.
All the talk in the build-up has been if Oleksandr was to be victorious, would he come back and fight Anthony Joshua or one of the other British heavyweights?
Bringing Usyk to heavyweights will bring some new spirit to heavyweight division, and he definitely needs to fight Anthony Joshua.
For Usyk, satisfaction never lived in comfort. The questions grew louder. How great could he be? How far could this style carry him?
You've said in the past, Oleksandr, that you want to fight Joshua.
Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder in the next 12 months.
People call you crazy as well.
Maybe.
It's your eyes what makes you mad.
His eyes lifted to the land of giants, the heavyweight division, where size rules, power ends nights, and skill is often sacrificed for mass. Many doubted him. Too small, too light, too technical for men that big. Usyk saw it differently. He didn't see size, he saw space. He didn't fear power. He trusted movement, timing, and belief. This wasn't a gamble. It was a challenge. And once again, Oleksandr Usyk was ready to rewrite the rules. This time, against the biggest men in the world. First came Chaz Witherspoon. Then came Derek Chisora. And suddenly it got messy. Chisora gave Usyk one of the toughest nights of his career. He wasn't there to box. He was there to cause damage. Backhand, jab, hook. It didn't matter. If it landed, it counted. If it hurt, even better. Pure pressure, carnage over craft.
Movement, the beautiful southpaw skills as he gets around there. That's where Chisora wants him, but Phil Edwards gets in. Back from Chisora. Oh, good action here in the 7th, and Usyk opening up, and now he's back in.
But Usyk stayed calm. He read the storm, let it burn itself out. As the rounds passed, Usyk turned the fight. Sharper jabs, better angles. Short combinations, quick exits. Chisora slowed. Usyk took control. What started as a brawl ended as a clinic.
Resistance, resilience from Chisora.
Usyk closed it out on the cards, outthinking, outmoving, and outlasting the chaos. And that's when Britain really started paying attention.
Oleksandr Usyk.
All roads led here.
Anthony, I'm coming for you.
Well, it'll be Usyk's first world title fight at heavyweight after he previously unified the cruiserweight division.
Anthony Joshua, the king of UK boxing. Built on size, power, belts, and sold-out stadiums.
When you fight good opponents, people respect it. People have to give you credit.
I think he's smarter than people think he is, and people think he's already smart. I think he's trickier, and I think he hits a little bit harder than people give him credit for. I'm not trying to scare you, I'm just telling you.
You've already scared me, Bunsey, to be honest with you. I'm sure he can hurt all heavyweights, but I don't fear his power in this fight.
How concerned are you for Joshua?
I'm very concerned, there's a professionalism from both fighters that tell me it's the calm before the storm.
You've got the unified heavyweight world champion against the undisputed cruiserweight world champion, 2 Olympic gold medalists from London, 2 pound-for-pound greats. I'm extremely nervous. The one thing about these guys is they're pure fighters. It's all about legacy. You know, and I know they'll do well at the weekend, but I promise you, for AJ and Usyk, this is just about legacy. This is about AJ beating a great fighter and adding to an incredible resume.
This wasn't about titles anymore. Usyk came to overthrow the king. It was a collision of worlds. Joshua's power against Usyk's skills. Mass versus movement. Power versus precision. The doubts echoed everywhere. Too small, too light. Usyk never listened. Under the lights, before a nation watching, he stepped into the moment he'd been chasing. Not to survive, but to prove that intelligence could rule heavyweight boxing.
Cage is stopped by all good left hand from Usyk. Before they overrate me, they gon' underestimate me. Face facts, I'm the apex. Better play D. Nigga God did a thing when he made me.
A devastating defeat. Congratulations to Oleksandr Usyk. What a fighter.
I worried about this fight a long time ago when it was first muted.
The danger of the fight. You overthink the fight, you try and be too technical, you don't use your attributes, and you don't make your mark early enough in the fight.
He's gone back to the drawing board after the Ruiz fight, and they've got him to box better, and I think that he probably went in a little bit confused whether to box or whether to utilise his natural attributes.
Usyk's very fit, he's got great feet, he threw a lot of punches in there tonight, you know, and it was all the things you worry about.
I've always knew Usyk was the real deal. He's a good fighter, Usyk. He's talented, and he's a natural fighter as well. That's the difference. So that's why he's a quality operator. This guy can box in his sleep. You know, he's born, bred to fight this Usyk.
The worm had turned. The long-looming rival had beaten the odds, now standing on top of the world, holding every belt that once belonged to Joshua. The king of the division was dethroned. But one night wasn't enough. A rematch clause was part of the deal. A chance for the former champ to get his get back. Usyk had to prove in the rematch that it wasn't a fluke.
Relentless sounds of shelling.
Ukraine woke to explosions around the capital, Kiev.
Russians have turned to siege warfare, pummeling cities from ground and air.
The Russians, what are you doing? What are you doing in our home country?
The world changed. Russia and Ukraine were pulled into a devastating full-scale war, a tragedy that shook the world and tore through the lives of the Ukrainian people. For Usyk, boxing wasn't just about belts or legacy. He was carrying a nation's pain, pride, and hope into the ring, fighting under a weight far heavier than any opponent.
Beautiful.
At the face-off, Joshua looked colder than ever. No smiles, no warmth, only focus. Usyk wasn't fazed. Pressure had never moved him before, and it wouldn't now.
I'm very fit. That's good. Thank you.
Are you very fit?
From Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, ladies and gentlemen, introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he is the fighting pride of London, England, and the United Kingdom, Joshua, wearing the colors of Ukraine, white, blue, and yellow, fighting for and representing the sovereign nation of Ukraine, Oleksandr Usyk.
On the night, everything was at stake. For Anthony Joshua, this was redemption, a chance to reclaim his throne, to prove the first loss wasn't the end of his reign. For Oleksandr Usyk, it was validation, proof that the belts belonged to him, that the moment wasn't borrowed, that his rise wasn't an accident. Joshua came sharper, more disciplined, trying to impose size and control the distance.
Being more heavy on that front foot, he's being the bigger man. Combination from Usyk, but a slapping right hand there. Difficult once again for Anthony. Ooh. That shot rocked him. That one rocked Usyk.
Joshua's power surged. Usyk's intelligence answered, changing angles. Usyk controlled the rhythm, drawing mistakes, forcing Joshua to think instead of attack. Round by round, the pattern returned. By the final bell, it was clear. Redemption had been denied. And Usyk had confirmed what the world already feared. He wasn't just champion, he was the standard. Only one prize remained to complete heavyweight supremacy, the WBC world title, held by the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury, who had just announced his retirement.
I promised my lovely wife, Paris, I have to be a man of my word, and I think this is it. This might be the final curtain for the Gypsy King.
To be in
Hey,
the
Tyson,
retirement.
back in ring, please. Back in ring.
Just a quick message to let everybody know that I, the Gypsy King, am happily retired. But to get me out of retirement, considering I don't need the money and I don't need the aggravation, it's going to cost these people $500 million.
Tyson Fury is running away for almost 1 year from him.
And just when it looked like Usyk was next in line, Tyson Fury went and fought Chisora again, because apparently trilogy season never really ends. Meanwhile, Usyk was right there, lurking, staring at that WBC belt like it owed him money.
Usyk, you're next, little bitch. You're next. I'm going to write you off. I already done one Ukrainian Klitschko, and I'll do you as well.
Fury said he was ready, just not without 70% of the purse, a bigger bag, and probably a crown fitted to his head as well. Usyk didn't complain. He just kept smiling, the kind of smile that says, enjoy the belt while you can. With the money politics dragging on and the Fury fight going nowhere, Usyk didn't wait around. Instead, he turned to his obligation. The WBA mandatory Daniel Dubois.
He's rapping now, is he?
He's a funny man.
We're just ready to go in there and do a job.
Young, hungry, powerful. A man chasing his first world title, standing in the way of Usyk's bigger plan. Dubois came fast and physical, looking to impose his size and youth early. Usyk stayed calm, circling, reading, downloading. Sharp, piercing shots kept finding their mark, making Dubois hesitate, think twice before charging in. Then came the moment that froze the fight.
There's a body shot, is that low?
A heavy body shot dropped Usyk to the canvas, ruled a low blow.
It was a low blow from Daniel Dubois.
Pain was real, the controversy instant.
Heavy work coming in now from the
Fight
champion.
hanging in the balance.
There's a real mean look about Usyk now on that front foot. He's changed his demeanour.
And suddenly, everything changed.
The attack from Oleksandr Usyk, that sent the sweat spraying off the head of
Usyk
Dubois.
shifted gears. He took control, landing punishing, precise shots that dropped Dubois twice, ending the fight.
Great shot, right hand, great shot. Daniel Dubois down, and Usyk just nods his head.
And reminding everyone exactly who he was.
Usyk has retained his heavyweight title belts.
The man that made boxing great again, Turki Al-Sheikh, with pockets deeper than the ocean, he comes with offers you can't refuse. The politics disappeared and chaos started.
Tyson Fury.
I'm gonna bust him. Sausage, ugly little man, rabbit.
More.
I don't want a more. You know what's coming. You're getting smashed to pieces, sausage.
Take it easy.
Fury versus Usyk was official, and the first undisputed heavyweight title fight of the four-belt era was finally real.
The heavyweight king, the lineal heavyweight, conquered Deontay Wilder in a classic trilogy.
The kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Alexander and Tyson, you both know exactly what I expect. Touch gloves, good luck to both of you.
So for the first time...
From the start, Usyk set the tempo, pressing forward, looking to think ahead.
Drains you mentally.
Fury played
Both
the
of
counter
them
game.
too good. Any mistake will be punished. And then...
Consequences.
This is where he's got to get him, Usyk.
But as the fight wore on, the balance shifted.
That was a
By the
better
third
shot.
quarter, Fury was in trouble.
And look at Usyk.
His nose busted, absorbing heavy, unsettling shots. Usyk was landing cleaner, more often.
Trade with him, and he's taken some serious... Oh, what a shot that is! Fury's wobbling! Usyk's caught him! Fury's in all kinds
and pinging Fury all over the ring with a barrage of punches that sent shockwaves through the arena.
Usyk charging in for a finish! Fury doesn't know where he is! He's all over the ring! Is this a sensation? Fury hanging on! Down he goes, does he know? 1, 2, an astonishing change in the fight! 6, That was incredible. Nelson wants him to walk to him. The powers of recovery against Deontay Wilder needed now, and there's the bell. And what a turn.
It was close, tense, hard fought. But when the final bell rang, the verdict was clear. Oleksandr Usyk had done enough. He was victorious.
That big dosser got pinged all over the shop, didn't he? Tyson Fury, sit down, because the real heavyweight king has arrived. Maybe Fury didn't want to fight him because he knew that's what would fucking happen.
I thought his best shots was filed at him.
It was one of the greatest fights of the era. It lived up to the biggest undisputed fight. And what made it even better, there was a rematch.
Hello, brother! You're on me. One rabbit.
One rabbit coming up. Cooked rabbit soon.
One rabbit in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Tyson, when you get him, finish him!
No problem.
This time around, there were no verbal jabs, no pushing, no theatrics from Tyson. He looked humbled, quieter, more measured. Usyk, meanwhile, wore that familiar smile, calm, knowing, as if to say, you're in my world.
He's back
now.
in the Kingdom Arena 7 months after losing for the very first time. A man now mentioned in the same sentence as the iconic heavyweight champions of the past. You can almost cut the electricity inside the Kingdom Arena. Usyk impassive, Fury bearded and ready. Here we go. Is it business tonight?
Usyk set the pace. Sharper, relentless, more accurate. And landing cleaner. Has had more. The flurries were sharper, the punches consequential, snapping Tyson's head back. Where Fury swung heavy, Usyk struck with accuracy. By the later rounds, it was close. But the superiority belonged to Usyk. His accuracy and output were unmatchable. At the end of the 12th round, Tyson just didn't do enough to persuade the judges. It was Usyk's night. Usyk had established his supremacy once again. Usyk was phenomenal. His resume almost untouchable in modern boxing. Undisputed at cruiserweight and heavyweight, mastering 2 divisions defined by completely different demands. But one shadow
the best man
always
win,
lingered.
and I look forward to challenging the winner.
The Dubois body shot, ruled low, debated endlessly. Fans still argue whether it was legal or not, whether it could have changed everything. Even in dominance, controversy followed.
When Daniel hit you with that shot, I know human beings, when you get hit low, football, whatever, people, you straight away, you hold like this. When you got hit, you went down, and your body started shaking like this from your stomach. And the referee looked at you, you didn't say low, you didn't complain, you sat there and you froze because you were hurt. Why have you not been honest?
Because we fight my ball.
The referee went.
After fight, we go to center of London.
Yeah.
Your team for people, my team for people, and make them.
Since his first loss to Usyk, Daniel Dubois rebuilt himself.
Pussy. Pussy.
He stopped Jarrell Miller, pushed past Filip Hrgovic, and then seized his moment, defeating Anthony Joshua to claim the IBF world title. A belt once out of reach was now around his waist, and forcing his name back into the conversation. For Usyk, it was unfinished business.
Where is Daniel?
For Dubois, it was a chance at payback.
Remember to protect yourselves at all times.
Dubois ran straight into stiff jabs.
Dubois immediately gets caught.
Usyk's elusiveness became a problem immediately, floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee, making Dubois miss, tire, and pay for every mistake. Usyk meant business this time. He started fast, landing hard, snapping shots that kept Dubois guessing. Dubois couldn't find his rhythm, kept walking forward, and kept eating counters for his trouble.
The crowd are chanting the AQ.
By the 5th round, it was one punch too many. Dubois went down, beat the count, but Usyk wasn't done.
Will they turn into a nightmare here at Wembley? Big one.
A sharp left hook closed the show. No debates, no doubts, just class-separating
There was
levels.
no way Dubois was getting up from that. The dream is over at Wembley.
Wow. Stunning statements after stunning statements in the heavyweight division. It's just phenomenal.
You have just witnessed one of the greatest fighters to ever live. Oleksandr Usyk became undisputed once again, for the 3rd time.
He's special. He rises to the occasion, and he's done this in every professional fight he's had. And I think that says a lot about the man, just to what level he can bring himself to.
He will stand as a great in any era.
Phenomenal. Like he is. There is absolutely no question in my mind who is the pound-for-pound #1 in the sport. Oleksandr Usyk has beaten Dubois twice, AJ twice, Tyson Fury twice. He's unbelievable.
You know, he keeps putting everything on the line with everything to lose and nothing to gain, because he has proven his greatness not just once, but twice over almost everybody he's fought in the heavyweight division. Who did that? Who fought and beat everybody twice on foreign soil?
He conquered cruiserweight. He conquered heavyweight. And in the 4-belt era, he held them all. Something that had never been done before. This was history.